Being nice will destroy you. From childhood, you were rewarded for being agreeable, the good one. Teachers praised you for keeping the peace. Parents smiled when you stayed quiet. Friends relied on your willingness to bend. Niceness became your armor, the way you avoided rejection, confrontation, and disapproval. But niceness is not kindness. Niceness is a strategy, a mask we wear to stay safe. Kindness flows from strength. Niceness grows from fear. The mask of approval. Imagine someone holding a smiling mask while the real face behind it looks exhausted. That's what niceness looks like. Performance disguised as virtue. Wear it long enough and people stop seeing the real you. They only interact with the agreeable version, the one that never says no. And slowly, you start to forget who you were before the mask. Psychologists call this self-abandonment, trading authenticity for approval. You silence yourself not because you don't have opinions, but because someone else's comfort feels safer than your own truth. Silencing yourself is still rejection. It's just self-inflicted. The niceness debt. Being nice is like charging peace on a credit card. Each yes earns you a moment of quiet. Each avoidance earns you short-term relief. But the interest compounds in resentment, exhaustion, and burnout. Think of the friend who asks for one more favor. You say yes even though you're tired. Soon, your time isn't yours. Niceness doesn't create peace. It buys silence at the cost of self-respect. Manipulators sense it instantly. They test you with small tasks, escalate with guilt, and thrive on your predictability. Niceness tells the world, my boundaries are negotiable. The workplace and home examples. At work, a manager drops another project on your desk. You're swamped, but you smile and say, sure. Now you're staying late, invisible but dependable, the go-to for unpaid overtime. Niceness didn't earn you respect, it earned you more work. At home, a family member guilt trips you into another favor. You go along, even though you're spent. You tell yourself you're being kind. But it's not kindness if it costs you your peace. That's not generosity. That's self-erasure. The invisible contract. Niceness forms a silent deal. I'll stay small so no one gets upset. You carry other people's emotions like a second job, their disappointment, anger, and discomfort. But notice what's missing. Your own needs. Niceness asks, how do I keep everyone happy? Kindness asks, what's true and fair right now? When niceness backfires. The cruel twist? The more you give, the less you're valued. When you finally reach your limit and say no, people act shocked. You've changed. No, you've just stopped financing their comfort. Niceness trains people to expect endless access. Boundaries teach them access is earned. The body keeps score. Chronic niceness shows up in the body. Tight shoulders, stomach knots, fatigue, insomnia. Every swallowed no becomes stored tension. You think you're avoiding conflict, but your body is fighting one every day. With itself. Boundaries. The antidote. Niceness says yes to stay safe. Boundaries say no to stay sane. Boundaries aren't walls, they're doors. They define what enters your life and what leaves. They don't punish, they inform. Picture someone with a shield labeled boundary. Arrows of demands and guilt bounce off harmlessly. That's not aggression. It's self-respect. Boundaries communicate this simple truth. Here's what I can do. Here's what I won't. Replacing apologies with clarity. Sorry, I can't. How many times have you said that? Apologies soften your no until it breaks. Replace them with clarity, I won't be able to. That doesn't work for me. Your body will resist at first. Heart racing, palms sweating. That's normal. It's your nervous system detoxing from chronic overaccommodation. Practice it in the mirror. Feel how power sounds in your own voice. The internal boundary. External boundaries protect you from others. Internal ones protect you from yourself. You don't need to say yes just because silence feels awkward. You don't need to rescue people who never asked for your help. You don't need to solve every problem to earn belonging. The next time your phone buzzes with, "Can you do me a favor?" Pause. Wait 5 seconds. Ask, "Do I actually want to? Do I have the energy?" That pause is freedom in disguise. The mirror question. Stand before a mirror and ask, "What do I actually want?" For chronic people pleasers, that's revolutionary. Because niceness never asks what you want. It only asks what keeps others comfortable. Pruning for growth. Imagine a tree. Some branches are labeled opportunists, others overcommitments. The tree droops under their weight. Pruning looks harsh. You cut away what drains you. But soon, new leaves grow stronger. Boundaries are pruning. Painful at first, necessary for life. When you say no, you're not rejecting someone. You're redirecting energy toward what truly matters. When boundaries feel like loss. Some people won't like your boundaries. They'll say, "You've changed. You used to be so nice." What they really mean is, "I liked you better when you didn't have limits." Loss is the price of alignment. The ones who only valued your compliance will fade. The ones who value you will stay and grow with you. Kindness versus niceness. Niceness says yes to avoid guilt. Kindness says yes because it's honest. Niceness avoids conflict. Kindness accepts it when necessary. Niceness seeks approval. Kindness seeks truth. When you stop being nice, you don't become cruel. You become real. Heart plus shield. Picture someone holding a heart in one hand and a shield in the other. That's kindness with boundaries. Compassion guided by clarity. Boundaries make kindness trustworthy. When people know you can say no, your yes gains weight. Relationship balance. In relationships, endless yeses breed resentment. Real intimacy includes no. Think of two partners. One always agrees, the other expresses preferences. Which one do you trust more? The honest one. Boundaries create safety because they make love feel real, not performed. The stage versus the studio. Without boundaries, life is a stage where anyone can rewrite your script. With boundaries, it's a studio, your creative space. You choose who enters, what gets built, and when the lights go out. Your body compass. Your body knows the truth before your mind admits it. Say yes when you mean yes. Your chest feels open. Say yes when you mean no. It tightens. That's your built-in guidance system. Boundaries honor it. Micro practices for empowerment. The pause button. Count to 5 before replying. The mirror check. Ask, would I resent saying yes? If yes, your answer is no. The prepared phrase. That's not something I can take on. No, thank you. The guilt reframe. Guilt doesn't mean wrong. It means growth. Reframing guilt. When you begin setting boundaries, guilt shows up fast. That's your old identity trying to survive. You're not selfish for protecting your peace. You're responsible for it. Guilt is just proof you're stepping into honesty. When others push back, you'll meet resistance. People who benefited from your silence may challenge you. Don't argue. Don't explain. Repeat your line calmly. I won't be able to. That doesn't work for me. Consistency trains others faster than confrontation. Case study. The persistent friend. A friend says, I thought you were always there for me. Niceness panics and caves. Boundaries respond, I've helped when I could. Today, I can't. At first, they sulk. But later, the friendship either adjusts or ends. Both are forms of alignment. Approval is rented. Respect is owned. Approval depends on mood. Respect depends on boundaries. When you guard your energy, people may resist, but deep down, they notice. And so do you. The transformation. Empowerment begins where compliance ends. The puppet strings cut, the mask drops. You stop auditioning for roles and start directing your life. Split screen it. On the left, the old you. Juggling, shrinking, apologizing. On the right, the new you. Calm, centered, holding both heart and shield. That's not selfishness. That's sovereignty. The nervous system reset. Your body will shake the first few times you say no. That's healing. You're teaching your system that safety can exist with boundaries. Each breath after affirm no rewires you toward peace. The freedom of saying no. Every no opens space for a truer yes. No to exhaustion equals yes to rest. No to guilt equals yes to integrity. No to manipulation equals yes to respect. Boundaries aren't rejection, they're redirection. Being nice will destroy you, not because kindness is wrong, but because niceness is fear in disguise. The mask, the puppet strings, the endless debt of yeses. They've kept you small. Boundaries cut the strings. They prune the branches. They rebuild the studio. You are not here to be digestible. You are here to be whole. Start with saying no, then another. Build the muscle. Watch your world reshape. Because kindness without boundaries isn't kindness at all. Thanks for watching. This is MindStickz.